As if the Indiana Jones brand hasn't been through enough, especially just looking at what happened to it last year, there is one final insult coming down the pipeline in the form of a video game. Now, ever-reliable LucasArts brand back in the cut used to release a fair amount of Indiana Jones ancillary adventures. This time around, though, a Bethesda subsidiary, the old Machine Games that, used to put out good Wolfenstein games. I guess I should say a good game and a DLC. 2 and Youngbloods, less said about that, the better. But now they're coming up with some broke-ass Uncharted Tomb Raider clone, even though, Indiana Jones is kind of the precursor to all of that stuff, the same way that when Tomb Raider got rebooted, it was accused of being a rip-off of the other series that it inspired. It's just a big incestuous mess, which is probably the best way that I could describe the development studios over there at Machine Games. Ugh. But the fact is that, at one point in time, a big AAA third-person action-adventure Indiana Jones game is coming out in, a few weeks' time? The fact of the matter is, I don't even know when the release date is. This would be a huge deal, but the AAA game space is the 2024 AAA game space, and nobody's looking forward to this, bro. We've seen this thing a few different times throughout this year, different games fests, a Microsoft stream just touting which studios we haven't closed down. It's not inspiring at all. And then the news that there's going to be a girl boss sidekick that, guys, you're going to learn to love her. She's going to be so great, because that worked out so well for Indy in his previous outings. But they're also doing so. This entire game is so screwed up because, you have Machine Games, and the way that it's being described here, very accurately so, despite Machine Games making 2 of the last generation's best FPS games. You got the first Wolfenstein, and I don't know what else to say. The team isn't pushing gunplay as the main path forward in Indiana Jones and the Great Sir. Okay, cool. So you're fighting adversaries with a whip, arguably, I guess, through marketing and iconography, his most notable weapon, but right after that, it's his side piece. Why are you downplaying gunplay? And it gets even dumber from here. The team views guns as more of a fallback solution rather than a main focus. If you're going to be focusing on action, adventure, and combat, especially against multiple people, because even right there, that still is so stupid. You have Indy disarming one of the, I'd imagine, adversarial forces. He's got a pistol in his hands, and the other guy's just staring slack-jawed at him while he recoils his whip, holding a rifle. What are we doing? How can a gun be a secondary solution to a whip? It doesn't make sense at all. And somebody as acclimatized to combat as Indy is, you would know that. You're already off to a bad start. Okay. Speaking to Edge magazine, creative director Axel Torvenis, says, "We do not encourage gunplay. No, that's not being pushed as a primary way forward. The primary way forward is trying to use your wits and your whip." And listen to your Giovanni, I forget the bitch's name, but just listening to her, because she's going to have all the solutions that the history professor, expert adventurer couldn't come up with on his own. Indy isn't a character who's always going to win shootouts with dozens of people. He often uses his wits to outsmart the enemy and avoid conflict altogether. Unless every single combat interaction is going to be a big budget action piece where you can jump from rooftop to rooftop of different vehicles and integrate the environment. Spoiler, I don't think it's going to be that involved. It's going to be pretty stupid if he just doesn't go, screw it, and then just, puts 2 in the back of somebody's head. I can understand if it's a limited resource, if you're doing kind of a survival aspect to this, like an old Resident Evil type where you have to manage your inventory, because you're going into these jungles, you're going to these different locales, and you're not going to have a lot of room to carry all of your ammunition. If you're going to be more realistic in that area, I could totally buy not emphasizing firearms, but again, you got 2 armed individuals in front of you and you decide to, let me solve this, I'm just going to go toosh, and then you get shot and you're dead. That's the way that it would normally work. But creating a game that has guns but doesn't push the player to use them is challenging. Yes, from a studio that is famous for making FPSs, we're not gonna emphasize guns. It would be like taking Santa Monica Studios, the guys behind God of War, and putting them on the next Tetris project. Not exactly the best use of resources. Or in fact, getting the Peggle team, which I know a lot of people over at Machine Games heard Peg and got super excited, but making them work on a big open world buggy ass Bethesda game, Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll just go back. I'll take a look at my physical media because I have the I have the Indiana Jones trilogy because there's only 3 Indiana Jones movies. I have those. I'll be able to watch them anytime that I want, not having to engage with any of this stupidity that's going to play out later this year. Like, what's even the release date on this hunk of shit, right? I don't even tell you. I think it's coming out in May or something like that. Or I'm sorry, not May, November. Couldn't have got that any more incorrect, but not as more incorrect than what Disney did because, okay, unless you have your physical copies, can't watch them on streaming. All of Spielberg's Indiana Jones movies, you know, the good ones, and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, removed from Disney Plus worldwide. What happened? So the only thing that Disney's left with is Dial of Destiny. Cool. Imagine, if you will, you've gone your entire life not hearing the words of Harrison Ford touting his favorite franchise, not hearing about the greatness that was those original Indy movies, and thinking, you know what, now's the time. I got one of the many free options to pick up 3 months of a Disney Plus subscription. I don't know, maybe you bought a new TV, picked up a new phone because your contract lapsed, or I don't know, bought a new toaster. They're basically handing that shit out on every street corner at this point in time. You decide now is the time to fill in some cultural gaps in your knowledge. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sit down and watch some Indiana Jones. Okay, what is everybody talking about? Oh, the newest one? But I seem to recall hearing about something way back in the day, but now there's this new one. It's got, you know, high production budget. Okay, you know, it's got an interesting cast. Should be great. And then you come away going, oh God, this is all that Disney has on offer. Why does anybody think Indiana Jones is worthwhile? Steven Spielberg's 4 Indiana Jones movies. There's 4 of them? Weird. Movies have all suddenly disappeared from Disney Plus worldwide. Released in 81, yes, Raiders introduced Harrison Ford's intrepid archaeologist to the world, and he would subsequently return in 2 sequels. Yes, Temple of Doom, a prequel, and then, of course, The Last Crusade, the final time that we would see Indiana Jones on screen, and, of course, until he comes back in his many video game adventures, but, yeah, no, nothing after that. Something about this fan film from 2008, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, weird, with director James Mangold taking the reins on the 5th and seemingly final installment, very much so, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Disney Plus has now removed, yes, Raiders, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. As of writing, Disney has not addressed the removal of the films, and as you can see right there, I guess what you have, you know, behind the scenes features, a special look, timeless hero. Yeah, see how he became that sad, pathetic sack of shit at the beginning of the film and how he returns back to being a sad, pathetic sack of shit by the end of the film. But Disney acquired Lucasfilm in 2012, thinking that, yeah, you should have the license. What the hell happened? Is this just a glitch? But it's been going on for a long time, right? Yeah, becoming the owner of Indiana Jones IP in the process, something that, yes, the titular character, the actor himself, Harrison Ford, holds in incredibly high regards, and is the series that Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy cut her teeth on, but seemingly out of the blue, and normally when they scrub a project like Lucasfilm has, it's not the first time that they've let something go, like Willow. Remember, there was a TV show of Willow back in 2022? Yeah, it was only around for like less than 6 months, and also keep your eyes peeled to the Lucasfilm section of Disney Plus for when the Acolyte magically disappears and everybody over at the House of Mouse just has a momentary lapse in judgment. It's like, High Republic, yeah, there's some books out there, but yeah, maybe somebody should do something with it in like a live action sense someday. Still haven't. Very fertile ground to farm. Yeah, we could definitely get something out of that. Still, it's a shame nobody has. No Harvey Weinstein affiliated assistant has ever directed a big budget $230 million project. Nope, never happened before. Now they can unironically do that with Indiana Jones. Oh, so they can make Diana Jones moving forward. Oh boy. Okay, it is important to note, however, that Paramount Pictures retained the distribution rights for the first 4 movies. Okay. A deal was made in 2023, and the films made their way to Disney Plus, just in time for the release of, yes, Dial of Destiny. And the licensing agreement has now expired. What a strange time frame for that. 18 months? That's kind of weird. And now, oh, that's why the first 4 Indiana Jones have left the service. Man, there is nothing that Lucasfilm hasn't squandered. Okay, like, you basically pillaged the Star Wars original trilogy for all that it's worth, unless you watch them and potentially the prequels in a vacuum, but, you know, just specifically focusing on A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. Like, you gotta wade through a bunch of crap and poor decisions, okay? I like Return of the Jedi just fine, all the throne room stuff between Anakin, or I'm sorry, well, I guess eventually Anakin, right? But he blew up the Death Star, right? According to a guy who temporarily starred in the High Republic series that never ever took place on Disney Plus by 2025, better believe that. But no, between Vader and Luke, like, that's all great, and, you know, the Emperor is as great as ever, the ultimate victor of all 9 episodes of Star Wars. But that brand has severe damage, and of course, Dial of Destiny did untold long-term brand damage, and you can't even go back and wash the bad taste of that film out of your mouth with the originals. But as we can see, you know, all of the poor decisions in regards to handling Star Wars has had series after series, game after game come back with diminishing returns. We'll be able to figure out by the end of the year what the long-term impact of losing any good Indiana Jones on your platform, being left with the decrepit remains of the 5th iteration. What's that ultimately going to play out in regards to a game that nobody wants from a studio that is long since past expiry? So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.